All right, folks. Kent Ketter, hot takes, Elves, closing video. Deck's a spicy one. I definitely appreciate the deck building. A lot of 4-ofs, focusing on the cards they really want. The only 3 of, by the looks of it, are the Visionaries and the Renegade Leaders, and Azuri is definitely, you just need one. Just one, and you combo them, and you get them. Beyond that, though, deck is crazy explosive. You just get so far ahead in some situations that your opponent, even if they were to cast kind of the optimal spells in their deck, it's probably just dead. So that's a pretty good feeling. Sideboard's got some good bullets. Forge Tinder doing a lot of work. Essence Warden helping out in some of the combo situations. Not quite against Bounding Crisis, but does pretty good work elsewhere. Beyond that, though, the deck is a blast to play. If you've already got the collected companies, and your Quarter Callings, the rest of the cards involved here are very, very cheap. So I'm sure there's one that I'm missing that's exorbitantly priced. Or exorbitant. Maybe Archdruid. Anyway, no real negative critiques. The bullets, as you see sorted here on that left column of the sideboard, can probably be flexed around and mess with some other stuff. I would imagine the Finks, the Pass, and the Fracturing Gusts are just a concession to the various decks that they hose pretty hard. Finks for burn. Path probably for your Jund decks or maybe your burn decks as well. And then Fracturing Gust because Affinity needs to be beaten. Good work on that. And then the rest of these sideboard numbers are just, some high-quality stuff here. I really like the Chameleon Colossus against the Jund decks. Their larger spot removal doesn't really work on this character right here. And yeah, it was a blast. I had a good time with this one. Not something I would take lightly into a tournament. I can see why this is something that drew someone into the format, but I will tell you, in my opinion, if you're drawing hot, you'll probably do well. But if you stumble and mulligan once or twice, this deck seems to mulligan terribly. A bunch of interchangeable, kind of cruddy small creatures, scaling into some tutoring effects, just not really where you want to be. But it was a good time. It was a good time. I would recommend you check this out. Dwynen's Elite was the one that impressed me more than anything. That's a Heritage Druid activation all in itself. That's actually, well, not all in itself, but making 2 tokens, or making a token plus another 2/2, pretty powerful. I can see why it's a 4 over Elvish Visionary, which at first kind of, didn't make sense to me. But pretty cool. Main deck Spellskite, good one. And main deck Scavenging Ooze. One thing I didn't get to do here, but it's a great thing to keep in mind, is if your opponent kills kind of your first wave of creatures and then you land an ooze and you produce a bunch of mana, that ooze is very, 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 very large. And I think that's really nice. Being able to just have, like a 12/12 ooze is probably not unreasonable with this deck. Eternal Witness seems like a good one to buy back your Azuri that died. I really wanted to take it off the company every time, but it felt like the other targets were better. Yeah, good times. Good times. This is a great deck. I definitely give this one a medium or a medium plus on my ranking scale of medium minus, medium plus. This one is definitely on the top end of that. Load of fun to play. Oh, I'm sorry, Cavern of Souls is the other expensive one. But anyway, deck's a blast. I hope everyone had a good time. I will be back next week with probably some spicy modern number after the Grand Prix in Indianapolis. If anyone has any decks that they're really wanting to see that are kind of new and would appreciate a little hot take action done on it, which means little to no prep and I'm just diving in to see what happens, feel free to hit me up on social media or comment on the videos on YouTube. Would love to hear from everyone involved. Beyond that, thanks for stopping in. This was Kent Ketter giving you another hot take with Elves, brought to you by Cardhoarder. Thanks a lot. See you next week.